Welcome to Talking Nachos, the dental talk show dedicated to helping you not cry on the inside in your dentisting life, being a happier dentist. We have amazing key resources and sponsors sharing what they do to help dentists increase their success, decrease stress, and reduce those number of times you feel like crying inside a day. I'm a practice owner too. I was at my practice yesterday, probably cried inside just like 12 or 14 times. So pretty good day for me. And we're going to interview awesome people who do things that you don't even know about. And this is what we're doing here on Talking Nachos, because we want to bring to you from the comfort of your own phone, your own home, how you can make your practice better, how you can learn what's next for you as a practice owner. If you're a dental student, you want to listen in because these are things you'll be doing for your career. So I'm ready for our first guest to join us. And every time he joins us, I think of this joke. I'm not sure he's ever heard it before. Dental sharks with lasers on their head. I usually like original jokes, but this is George White from AMD Lasers. And what we're channeling is a story of success, a story of help. You know, these are people who work with dentists daily. They know, you know, our people, George. Share with us what you guys do to decrease the annoyance of dentists in their daily life.
Yeah, so one of the main things that we do is we're the patent holder on the soft tissue laser, so the diode laser. We've had a lot of fantastic experiences and stuff with offices and things out there. One of the ones that comes to mind is a doctor that we just worked with. We started the relationship about 12 months ago or so with this doctor. He was looking for new things. He'd kind of grown his practice. He was having a hard time getting additional revenue. He'd spent so much money on bringing new patients and stuff in that we taught him the principle of you have an audience, right? So one way you make new money is by growing that audience. The other way is by serving that audience differently than you do and stuff right now. And the laser is such a minimal purchase that you can implement into an office that not only increases the experience, but it increases the ROI and stuff as well quite a bit as well.
Awesome.
So
what's an example, George? What is he doing in his practice that he wasn't doing before using one of your lasers?
So there's a ton of soft tissue surgeries that he was passing up, and he was referring those out to different specialists and stuff before. He was scared of blood. He was scared of the experience that blood creates for a patient and stuff in their office. So he wanted to eliminate that negative. And that's what the laser came in and did, is it allowed him to keep that stuff in office that he was referring out before and change that procedure to where now, like he had a patient come in, they did a frenectomy for this patient, which is a surgery, right? So that's kind of a big deal. They performed it with the laser as very minimized pain, really didn't have much and stuff at all. So much so that when the patient came back in for his follow-up a week later, the doctor asked him, "Hey, how is your surgical site doing?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah. Like, I didn't even know I had surgery because it was so painless. Yeah. All it was is topical that he put on there, be able to control the bleeding. So he implemented it on the doctor side and started talking to patients about, "Hey, I noticed you had this tissue tag. Is it bugging you?" So it's not selling the laser, but it's asking them if it's an annoyance. And then you have an opportunity to talk to them about the ways you can serve them.
I mean, to channel Nacho theme, you can add toppings that patients want in your practice responsibly, you know, do some stuff, still refer stuff. You see more. Now, as dentists, I'm a practice owner, we get like bombarded, so many different things. Walk me through the cost of that laser. You know, I know you guys have a great deal going on. Tell us about this deal and what would be the investment for a laser like this?
Yeah, so normally these soft tissue lasers will run anywhere from about $3,200 for our hygiene only one. Hygiene is another place where you can make a ton of money in your practice. Probably the most ROI is in hygiene, all the way up to about $6,500 for our Picasso Plus model. Right now, for just your group specifically, and for your doctors, we are running a very special promotion. It's a 50% off promotion off all of our lasers, so you can choose as many as you want, or you can just get the Clario for your hygienist, or you can get the Picasso Lite or the Plus for the doctor. But we're not just doing the 50% off. We're going to actually throw in what's our executive warranty as well, which is a 5-year, no questions asked warranties. Awesome. So now if you take it with you and you've run over it somewhere along the way, you just call us and we send you.
My 3-year-old needs that for her life. Just a no questions asked what she's broken policy, right? It's now broken. Don't ask me any questions about it. But one of the things I think is great, and what I'm trying to reframe, is we should be proud to sell help. What drives me Nacho nuts is dental school charges $500,000, $600,000. They don't talk about money, and they actually make you feel weird about charging money. It's very toxic. But in your practice, whether it's adding a simple procedure, you can be proud to sell help. Patients appreciate it. We're the ones who make it weird. And I'm actually surprised that the investment in lasers is not so dramatic. 3 to $6,000, and you can get 50% off because you know me. Like my grandmother said, I am special. So I'm so glad you guys have this special deal. You can text AMD to 215-543-6454. But also, George, what's the best way to reach out to you or just go somewhere to learn more about AMD lasers online?
Yeah, so you can definitely reach out just online. We have www.amdlasers.com that you can reach out to and stuff as well. We do have our 1-800 number, which is 1-866-999-2635, and our customer care team will be able to take care of you and stuff as well. You can reach me personally if you want to. My cell phone number is 801-671-9382. More than happy to help you guys out and stuff along the way. Our goal here, Paul, is not to sell more lasers. Our goal is to help you change your practice.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
we have new trainings. We have an implementation training where we can walk you through step by step how to perform the procedures, but also how to talk to your patients about the procedures and all those things as well. So our goal is to help you guys change your practice and change the experience for your
that
patients.
fits with developing your dental core, right? Not more Krebs cycle, learning how to communicate, learning how to do more clinical procedures. So thanks so much for being an awesome key resource and sponsor, George. Hang around for our show. We really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much.
Awesome. So as you can see, one first guest, George from AMD Lasers, great topping to add. I'm ready for our next set to come up because it's about, I'm a huge fan of the story is the star. How can we share our story online more? So people, they use their phone all the time like we all do, and they want to find out about you online. So we have Parham from DOCSITES. Parham, share with us, what do you guys do to support dentists? You're all some key resources and sponsors. And think of a client that has really been able to transform what they do, help more patients, be happier through using your services.
Absolutely. So we're the DOCSITES. We provide affordable websites and marketing, and we're the perfect company for someone looking to personalize their website, to really do a nice refresh. You know, if you have an outdated site that's generic, that you haven't done much on for 2-3 years, and now it's post-COVID and you're ready to attack and get more people to learn about you. And I have a great recent story, actually. This is from a friend and a client that we've had for a long time. They were using another website provider. They came back to us. They said, we want your hands-on services. We want to get more emergency patients. We're set up to work on the weekend. And what did we do? We went to their website, we refreshed it, we personalized it, and we made a whole section on emergency dentistry. So we made like 8 different pages on there, different types of dental emergencies. Do you have a chipped tooth? Do you have an extraction that you need? And we set it up for the keywords. And, you know, we can't tell Google exactly what to do. Otherwise, I'd be a billionaire, right? But what we could do is help them see things. So what happened by creating that section on his site and then also optimizing it for the Google Maps, now his site is the second one on the maps for emergency dentists and his city. Can't guarantee it for all of our clients, but what we can do is do the work and help you out. And the other things he didn't have is he didn't have any before and afters, and he had all these beautiful caseworks. He said, how do I get it to you? What do I do with it? I said, you just email it to us. We'll put it together. We'll put your name on it. We'll add a little, you know, brighten it up a little, you know. So all the little things about making a personalized website and getting high quality service.
You're just sharing so much great value, because sharing your story and letting patients connect with you before they meet you, whether that's before and after, is so critical. And one of the things I've thought about is I asked our last guest, you know, what's the investment? Let's say you got that tired website, just like your wardrobe. It's just what you do. Is your website ready for summer like your wardrobe, or is it just filled with old sweatpants like mine? So you guys should say, get your website ready for summer for patients to see it. What is the investment? You got a website that you want to refresh. Break down the cost for me.
Well, the cost, it varies. We have 3 different tiers. The one with the most personalization is a $24.99 setup, but for all the Nachos members, we're going to hook you up with a discount. So if you reach out with that top tier one, then we have a middle tier one that's also beautiful, modern, mobile friendly, has all the latest features as well, just a little less customized work, and that's $14.99. And we'll also hook you up with a nice discount off the setup. And then our lowest one, we're giving 50% off at $4.99 for the setup. And that's a great deal as well. And you get hands-on support with all of those.
What you guys are doing is creating, like you said, an affordable option to do more, share more. It's so great. Take the time to do this now, Dennis, as the world gets ready to open up, as you want to share new things. Maybe you're adding an associate to your practice. You all know you can go to your website, and if you haven't updated things in a long time, here's a great opportunity to do so. So Parham, someone wants to reach out to you guys. What's the process? How can they reach out to you? We have our text code, text DOCSITES to 215-543-6454. You have the Nacho discount as a sponsor. We appreciate that. But just give me a little summary of the process. They reach out, and what happens next?
So when they reach out, they'll reach out to me directly because we want to provide personalized service. We do a no obligation demo, free, go over all the best practices. They don't go with us. They could use it for their own sites currently or whatever. And then from there, if they do sign up, I'll be their account manager from beginning to end. I don't pass them off to a junior. I get to know their practice. I get to share 11 years of dental marketing knowledge with them as well. And that's how it works with us. Very easy. We do all the work. They don't have to. They don't have to make their staff members sit there and do web updates.
Awesome.
So it's beautiful.
That falls under JDD. Just do the demo. You have an office manager. You have a team member. Maybe it's your spouse. This is so critical. This is the modern day business card. And it's really, you're losing out on so much opportunity to do what you love, Dennis. Help patients. Be proud to create awesome stories with them along the way. Patient-centered production. Parham, you guys are awesome. Really appreciate you being a key resource and sponsor. Text DOCSITES to 215-543-6454 to learn more. Really appreciate it, Parham.
Grateful to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. So we talked about lasers. We talked about websites, and I'm going to bring up my next guest in a minute here, who's going to help us talk about one of the most important things of our practice, how we run it, how we manage it, how we lead it. I'm here with new key resource and sponsor. So glad to have him, Wes. Wes, your first time on the show. Share with us, what do you do to do this? Someone's like, you work with Dental Nachos. It's just this: crying, not crying, or crying less. So what do you guys do? What's your company? So proud to have you as a sponsor. Would love to hear more. I think you might be muted there, Wes. Sorry. No worries. I'll just do
some.
some.
Can you hear me?
We're good. Yeah.
All right. Dr. Nacho, thanks for letting me be on the show. Really
Sure.
appreciate that. So our company is called Practice CFO. And as it sounds, it is a CFO service for practice owners. We specialize in dental. That's pretty much exclusively who we work with. And we're trying to give them access to something that normally only large enterprises have, which is a strategic financial advice to sort of structure a global financial plan, both inside and outside of their practice. And ultimately, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is help doctors become financially independent earlier in life. By running their practice like a great business and then converting the success in their practice into personal financial success.
Awesome.
And so what we do specifically is we will do business and personal financial planning. We will do the accounting. We are a CPA firm. CPA stands for Certified Public Accounting. We do the accounting work. We do the tax work. We oversee the payroll. But the CPA side is simply an engine of data for us. It's the way that we organize our x-rays to then sit down every 3 or 4 months with our doctors in what we call a board meeting. And we look at everything from their collections to all their overhead categories. We set budgets. We talk about hiring. We talk about their lease, their building, their debt structure. And then we sort of optimize everything, or traffic control, all their cash flow, so that at the end of the day, they have more money coming out of their practice to stay in their personal pocket, saving taxes, etc.
Well,
so that's what we do.
I want to disappoint you. You know what I like to do after a long day of dentisting and hearing complaints and crying inside? I like to open up my QuickBooks and enter in all my stuff. Just kidding. I don't want to do any of that. One of the things my dad said to me, I worked with him for 11 years, and amazing dad, amazing mentor, passed away a few years ago. But he said, dentistry is my profession. It is not my hobby. So it was very helpful to me because he did not make record basis after hours, and he outsourced stuff to people who did things all day long. And this is so valuable. Walk me through a little bit. You could tell a story of someone you've helped of, we got a stressed out but successful practice owner, doesn't really have his or her arms around the finances. They hire practice CFO. What does this look like with implementation? And then also, what kind of investment are people making into this, monthly or yearly?
Yeah, typically a monthly fee, and it ranges somewhere around $1,100 to maybe $1,500 as a CFO. So think of, I'm getting a CFO for that amount. Now, what we do is we meet typically 3 to 5 times during the year to address all the financial subjects. We have an agenda. We're sort of leading that, guiding it, learning from you. And then what the CFO does, we literally call ourselves CFO advisors. We have 5 of them here. They're all CPAs. Is the CFO meets with the doctor, sets up a plan around their debt, their taxes, their cash flow, their personal budget, their 401k, all that stuff, and then goes back to the team who's all here in our office. We got 26 people. Nice. We have an accounting department, a 401k specialist. We have a tax department, and make sure that everything is working according to that sort of master plan. So a quick story is most of our growth, we started 2013, most of our growth has come from representing buyers into a practice, partly because of my age. I just sort of connected with people who are in their 30s and whatnot. They're buying a practice. And so we represent them. We do the due diligence for them, and we go through that process. Well, one client who's always told me, Wes, share my name all you want. His name is Dr. Weston Spencer. And Dr. Spencer has a practice in La Jolla. I'm down here in San Diego. We work with clients all over the country, but he's here in La Jolla. And he was associating with the doctor, and he wanted to buy the practice. And the doctor said, great. But they didn't know what to do or how to do it, where to even get started. So I basically came in and I structured that transition plan. I did evaluation that they both agreed with. I helped him through the lending and the lease assignment. I coordinated with the attorney. And ultimately, he stepped into ownership after about 3 or 4 months. And then since then, he has expanded his office. He's had so many things going on. And he went from doing, let's just say he's literally doubled his monthly collections over the 5 years.
That's so awesome. I mean, what that story you share is so great you could share it. It's so dentist, right? It's like, let's start a band together. And then it's like, does anyone know where we buy instruments, right? And that's the business side of dentistry, and it's not dentist's fault. They literally ignore it in our training. And to me, it's so toxic because I have this basketball here to represent my failed dreams because I wanted to play in the NBA. Also, can't palm a ball. This is a 6-year-old's ball. But imagine if you only taught dribbling in dental school and then you got into the NBA and you had to shoot and pass and manage. And that's what you guys are doing for practices. And it's at such a reasonable cost to be able to implement this into your practice. I mean, I really appreciate you sharing this. How, we have your text code, text CFO to 215-543-645 to learn more. I'm into this JDD, just do the demo, right? What will people do when they text that in and connect with you and your team? What is that? Is there a complimentary call? Do they share information with you? Tell us about those details.
Yeah, complimentary calls. If they're looking to buy a practice, we'll do a free analysis of that practice for them to answer the questions. What are they going to take home after overhead, debt, and taxes? Okay. We've evaluated literally thousands of practices for dentists over the years, but they're going to get a CFO advisor, one of the 5 of us, who's going to meet with them and learn about their circumstances and then decide, is there a good fit? And we're not a good fit for everybody, and we're somewhat selective too in who we work with. We are better with the larger practices, but I just want to say, if they're an associate or they're in dental school, what we're likely going to do is send them to our program called associatesonfire.com.
Nice.
That's associatesonfire.com. It is a free financial education platform that I spent 2 years on that has videos and podcasts and downloadable resources to help associates confront all those financial questions that they're faced with that they never learned anything about in dental school, to then really get ready to be a practice owner and do so in a really sort of educated way, because it's really the ones who understand the business side of dentistry. I find those are the ones who financially really get ahead, and we're trying to give them the tools to be able to do that. So associatesonfire.com, they can sign up, awesome. Add in their profile. We'll connect with them and help them that way.
It's such a great resource, and we need more people. I'm a very abundance-minded thinker. More people doing these good things out there for dentists, because our field, we have 150,000 dentists, and we need people like what you're doing to help them step by step. Because if you make a misstep, we sell practices, we coach buyers, and if you make a misstep, it's the most important decision of your life. And you can change lab. Dentists will spend more time figuring out what lab they want to use than what practice they want to buy. And they just don't realize how important that decision is. So what you guys are sharing is so great. Truly,
we're just trying to help them think big picture, know how to allocate their time to the things that really matter and what to delegate to other areas. But yeah, we're really excited for the program and hope that some of the Dental Nacho members can learn more about it.
Just do the demo. Reach out to Wes and his team. Really appreciate you sharing. Thanks for being on first episode here at Talking Nachos. Want to start a basketball team if you're good? I'm starting one for the dental world. I'm just joking. Just me's on it right now. But thanks, Wes, so much. Hang around to the end of the show. One more time, people just want to go to your direct website. What's the best website for that?
So our main website is www.practicecfo.com. That's stands for Chief Financial Officer. And our Associates on Fire is www.associatesonfire.com.
I commend you for getting that URL. I'm surprised it was available. So great URL for your practice. Awesome. Thanks so much, Wes. Really appreciate it. So as we've talked about so far, we've talked about lasers. We've talked about sharing your story online. We've talked about how money works in your practice. Now, our final guest here before we have our wrap up is going to share such an important thing: patients making appointments in your office. How to get people into your office for appointments by using a system that's friction-free. So I'm here with a fellow dentist on the show with me, Dr. Eric Rindler, the founder of Schedule Widget, sponsor of Dental Nachos. Eric, share with us, what does Schedule Widget do to increase success and decrease stress for dentists?
So I was gonna, I had vocal cord surgery 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. But I was all prepared to use.
I like that. And be like you, so. Hold that up. I like that.
All right.
Yeah. So pictures worth 1,000 words.
Our goal is to put more new patients in your practice by changing the model for new patient acquisition. And instead of having the dentist trying to pull patients into their practice, we're helping the rest of the dental ecosystem push patients into your practice. So
I love that. I just wanted you to interject. I mean, I was just walking around this morning having coffee, and we had a patient request an appointment through Schedule Widget. So I'm using this service for our practice. I find it to be really simple. Tell us about some of the success stories of your dentist and why they're happy to have added this to their practice.
Yeah, so it's been really great. The sign up for a dentist literally takes seconds, and to get it on their website, they simply put in their webmaster's email. That's the hard part, right? Actually taking the time to sign up, which is about 90 seconds. But once a dentist has Schedule Widget added to their websites, it allows new patients to request an appointment in real time. The second they see whatever they see on your website that says, I want to schedule now, they simply can click, and with very minimal friction, in fact, with the least friction of any online scheduling tool, the patient can schedule in your practice. So, and the other thing is we're trying to bring together all the different players in the ecosystem.
Oh.
So just like Parham with DOCSITES, we're now working with DOCSITES. So you can have your Schedule Widget on your DOCSITES website, and a patient can request an appointment, and then you can receive the notification from Schedule Widget.
Cool.
Or if you're working with Swell, it'll go to Swell and you'll get your notification through Swell. So we want to work with whatever you're already doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great place. Eric, I want to also add in, what's the, when did you graduate from dental school?
I graduated from dental school, I don't know, probably when you were like 3, Paul, 1996, and then I did a perio residency.
No, I was 2002. So we didn't have this early on, and this is so valuable to our growing our practices, decreasing the stress of our team, making it convenient for patients. And I know I sound like this medium-aged dentist where you guys have it so great. What is the investment to use Schedule Widget monthly in your practice, Eric?
Well, if they sign up on this, if they sign up from this if they go to schedulewidget.com/signup/dental nachos, awesome. They're going to get 3 months free of Schedule Widget Plus. And then worst case scenario, it's another $40 a month if you get the premium version.
So Nacho Nuts pricing, first of all, textbook to 215-543-6454. Eric's an awesome sponsor. Or Schedule Widget, you get 3 months free. The favorite price of dentists, Eric. If you notice, people love free. Dentists love free extra. Their crown preps, $1,800 works of art. That shouldn't be free. But they love free services to test out. But what I'm trying to share is enhancing your business. Everything we talked about here is so reasonable of a cost to add to your business to make more money, help more patients, and decrease your stress. We just need to bring this to the forefront of dentistry. I love that you're connecting with other companies to share with us. What is the best way? Will they do? Can they do a demo with your team, or when they? Yeah. So what's the best way? What happens next?
So if they sign up, and their support but the whole process is really automated. So invest 90 seconds, and we have lots of dentists who receive over 20 new patients a month from Schedule Widget because the patients are already there. They're already looking at your website. That's lead generation. We're lead conversion. So we're getting the people who want to see you, and we're making it easy for them to see you.
A friction-free experience, right? You know, people will hunt down their hairdresser if they move their hairdresser appointment to a side alley in Philadelphia. They'd find them because they want hair. But I just want you to know, teeth stuff, people will almost do anything to get out of it. So you've got to make the experience streamlined and friction-free. So Eric, love you sharing. What is the main website again for Schedule Widget? It's
schedulewidget.com, www.schedulewidget.com. And let me tell you, the nice thing is once people get Schedule Widget, I start getting all these text messages if they're a friend of mine saying, hey, I got another new patient. They're forwarding stuff to me. Yeah. If you're my friend and you have my cell phone, don't tell me every time you get a new patient because just you enjoy the new patients and maybe once in a while, buy me a cocktail or something like that. I love that. Yeah, that's your impact. Well, also, Rick, everyone can turn their videos back on. But as we're doing this, I have a special thing I want to say. If Ariel and Brandon can tag Chad Duplantis and Jeff Horowitz and Jennifer Bell from this group, Dinks, Dentist in the Know. They are my friends. We did a challenge on our Pelotons, me versus Chad. Eric was there, and I just want to point out for Jeff to watch and now Chad and Jennifer, because this is an unbiased thing. So I was involved in a Peloton challenge against Chad Duplantis for a great cause, an amazing family. But we were going to do trivia questions while we were riding the Peloton. And Jeff Horowitz, who I thought was my friend, they were asking two different trivia. So I was getting a trivia question, and Chad was getting a trivia question. Eric, could you rate the difficulty level of the trivia questions Chad was getting versus me, please? I'll give you an example. Chad, what is 2 + 2? Right. And this is true or false.
Sometimes you needed help for those, but yes.
2 + 2 = 4. True or false? Dr. Nacho, who was the 8th astronaut to land on the moon? And what was the vessel? And please name all of the other astronauts and everybody in the control room who sent that astronaut to the moon.
I was rigged. Thank you. This was one of the legitimate questions. This isn't a joke. Chad, what's your favorite sport? Paul, how many times do they mention unicorns in the Bible? That's for Jeopardy. That was a real question from Jeff Horowitz. So I want to say on Nacho TV, the whole thing was rigged. We helped an amazing family, but I need a rematch where, Eric, you make the questions and make them fair for us. So I want to say it. Well, thanks for sharing. What I'd like to do is our wrap up here at the end for anyone who's still hanging out with us is bonding people together is totally my thing. Dentists, team members, also sponsors. I'm just going to ask, what is something you learned or heard on the show that has nothing to do with your company, but you either think was interesting, you didn't even know it existed, or you would tell one of your dentists who's already your clients about? I'll start with you, George. What did you hear from one of the other sponsors? You thought that was just an interesting thing. I didn't know people could do that, or that would help one of my dentists.
Yeah, no, with both Eric and Wes here, being able to understand the different ways that they're growing practices brings insight and stuff to us to where we can help too, and to build partnerships and stuff with maybe some of these guys to help paint that picture, right? Because we all want to point everybody in the right direction, and that's heading in the right way, doing things the right way with the right people beside them to make good things happen. And to hear the ability that they have to push new customers into it definitely gives us some insights on how we can help these doctors and stuff move that way and stuff as well with Eric. But then Wes, having the conversation about financial things with dentists is something that we get to have and stuff all the time. So we'd love to have some expert ability to be able to teach those things on a better case scenario.
And this is why I do these 4 or 5, people shows, so you learn, because people ask, as a dentist, and Eric knows this, patients ask us everything, right? They tell us everything. I tell them you might need a therapist, you might need an attorney, and I just try to point them in the right direction. And there's so much value to that, to say, someone saying, hey, I've never heard of online scheduling, or hey, I spend my Sundays wanting to throw my laptop through the window because I can't use QuickBooks. And you might be able to say, I know someone who helps with these things. So thanks so much, George. Wes, how about you? I think you're so polite to mute yourself, Wes, but I think you're back on.
I just love how everybody's so accessible. Everybody was like, you can contact me directly. And also was that you, George? I don't remember, but somebody said it's not just about the product or it's about the training for the practice and the team. And I think we all have a product or a service, but there's something that sort of transcends that a little bit, which is I'm here to help coach you and be an advisor for you, not just to use it, but to see how it affects your whole practice. In my case, how it affects your whole financial system. It's not just accounting and tax and whatnot, it's how to make the system organized so the output is financial peace of mind and progress. And it seems like each of us here on the calls has that mindset in applying their product to that doctor.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a dribbling, passing, scoring, making decisions world. I go to this gym. Your nutrition matters, and working out, and sleep, and things like that. And for dentists, we're playing this game daily, and it's incredibly intense, which is my word for stress. Being a practice owner during COVID, they're like, you have a job. It's pretty annoying. We want to make it more annoying and in a pandemic, because now we have temperature check bouncers. We have people taking 2 weeks off. So anything that we can do as a community to support people is so great. Eric, I'll wrap up with you.
Yeah, I can comment on each of them. First, George, as a periodontist, I remember when you were looking at a laser and you were deciding if you were going to spend $200,000 on it. And so your price point to sort of go to the next level of care and incorporating the technology that a dental laser does into your practice. And now not only is it affordable, but you made it, what was the discount you made available? I mean, significantly less than what is already.
That's our dentist people. They love a discount. Yes. Just using your practice, 50% off. Very generous.
50% off of affordable is really fabulous. And the same with Parham and DOCSITES, the DOCSITES, that they have. I don't know, the cost of a custom website can become so attractive. And Wes, I own a website called benefitsofscale.com, and there's nothing on it. But when you talk about having a CFO that is dental focused, that you really understand what's happening in dentistry and where the opportunities are to not just increase your gross, but to increase your net revenues, because the little things your accountant does, the things to take advantage of. So the idea of having an accountant who really understands my space as a dentist, knowing that you exist and knowing that you're not an accountant for 6 dentists and 700 other people, but you really only care for dentists, that makes a lot of sense. So I trust you're not going to miss where the opportunities lie for dentistry. So learning about these things, Paul, I appreciate that you're putting us together and letting us learn and letting your nachos and nachettes know what's out there.
Yeah, I like that.
Paul, one other comment too,
Sure.
if I can just chime in, is one thing I love about what everybody on this call is doing is we're trying to help doctors have a platform to run a private practice. And I know for me, a lot of my personal mission is to sort of protect the private practice space.
Right.
So that doctors, when I go to a dental school, which I do a lot, and I always ask how many of you want to own a dental practice, pretty much every hand in the room goes up. They all want to be a practice owner and sort of control their destiny that way. And then they get out, and it's really a challenge to actually do that, especially when they got $700,000 in student loans, et cetera. And us here is sort of giving them the tools and the advice to help them succeed in being a private practice.
Yeah, it's filling in the gaps. It's the case. So I really appreciate you getting that gist. There's the right solution at the right time, and I just don't think we have enough responsible information. And you guys just did an amazing job sharing. We'll have another show. Really appreciate you guys being on. Great wrap up. Feel free to drop back. Our Nacho team will get you a copy of this so you can watch it tonight instead of Netflix. They might tell your family, I got a better show than Schitt's Creek. Just joking. No show better than Schitt's Creek. So thanks so much, everyone, for being here on Talking Nachos. If you would like to be a guest on Talking Nachos, you can text Salsa to 215-543-6454. You can reach out to client services at dentalnachos.com. We want to make this dental world a little more fun, a little more funny, a little happier for all of us. Thanks so much for being here.